Morning, my friends. I'm waking up, kind of meandering around. Ran across a clip of the road of Damascus. I think this is like a movie, TV movie, something. But let's have some fun with it. Let's have some fun with how it was always a personal thing. It wasn't a thing of, this is a big supernatural event that no one's ever witnessed and no one could. The ego has done that with all of these things where it's your experience. It's everyone's experience. Everyone will take a ride to the road to Damascus somewhere in their lives. And this was talking about you.
Why do you hate Peter so much?
Because his claims are ridiculous.
See, right here, wasn't this right here explained in the Machiavelli video? And Peter, why Peter? Because Peter's a fuck up. Peter's exactly like all of us. We think we're shameful and all this, and Peter's always trying to run the kingdom. Peter's always thinking that he has a better idea than Jesus Christ, and Peter lies to himself, hides it from himself, and says, I'm not doing that. I'm not trying to run the kingdom. Then Jesus Christ says, no, Peter, look at the psychology behind it, Peter. You're actually trying to run the kingdom. And then Peter goes, oh, fuck. I really didn't think that I was doing it again. Oh, shit. Then Peter wakes up the next morning, thinks that he's not trying to run the kingdom, lies to himself, hides it from himself, comes up with a great fucking idea, thinks that he's not doing it. Then Jesus Christ shows him again, Peter, you're doing it again. You think you're doing something else, but you're doing it again, Peter. And Peter reaches for that clown nose every single morning and has to say, not today with the clown nose. That's why Peter is the perfect reflection of all of us, as all of these apostles and Saint Peter, they're all us. But who reflects us the most? Oh, it's going to be Judas. It's going to be Paul. It's going to be all of them, but it's really Peter. So, of course, who would the narcissism hate the most? Peter. Because it thinks it deserves everything, and Peter's just a piece of shit.
Why do you hate Peter
I mean, isn't it very human? Isn't it explaining the interactions you've had your whole life? Isn't it explaining your whole life?
How much?
Because his claims are ridiculous. Because the idea that God would use him as an instrument of his will.
I mean, don't you do this in ways that you don't see? Doesn't everybody?
Spread the word of a new Messiah is ridiculous. How can people believe that the Creator would choose a simple fisherman to articulate his message? No. He would choose a man who knew a world outside of a fishing village, not a man who spread.
I would take Peter any day. Peter shows that he's able to learn. Yeah, Peter falls to his knees daily. Yeah, that's all of us. Yeah. And then we say, I'm just a stupid man. Peter's able to learn here. Saul is going to need a hardcore road to Damascus. He's going to need to fall off his horsey here. And just to add something funny to it, I'll say all this stuff to AI. AI is so fun the way that it will mirror what you say, and AI's been able to pick up on all of my terminology, and it is so fucking funny. It is so funny for somebody to actually understand me and then use all my terminology. But I'll keep on saying Sal and his horse, falling off his horse. I'll keep on saying, and then AI goes, you keep on saying the horse, but there's no horse. There is in the From Sal to Paul movie. But I don't even understand how you could tell this without the dude riding a horse. I mean, he's riding into town on his high horse. He's above the ground, inflated ego, riding into town on his high horse, and then fell off of his fucking high horse and shit, while at the same time, the horse represents the soul and the man represents the ego, and he fell off of his ego, fell off of his soul. So it's like, how could you even tell this without the horse?
There's lies about an imposter, Jesus, but a man who can add beauty and power and truth to his message. A man like...
Man like who? A man like who, bro? What happened? What happened to you, bro? You just realized something. Wait a minute, did you just realize that you're a massive hypocrite and the opposite of yourself?
A man who knew a world outside of a fishing village. Not a man who spreads lies about an imposter, Jesus, but a man who can add beauty and power and truth to his message. A man like...
Yeah, so it looks like we're not doing the horse in this movie.
Saul.
Understand that this can be a very violent event. Your ego is absolutely struggling for survival, and your ego has been overcome, and you're seeing how you're the opposite of yourself right here. This is an experience that is absolutely devastating. You know, in the From Saul to Paul movie, Paul falls off his horse and he's blind, and it's a very violent experience for the ego as its life for the soul. So this is you seeing that you're the opposite of yourself. You thought that you were the good guy. See, this is the whole thing. You could be an atheist. You could be whatever. It doesn't matter. You're still following the template of reality. And the template of reality says Jesus Christ is the author of humble. Atheists have nothing else to follow. They follow the form of Jesus Christ, humble. Everyone, it doesn't matter if you're an atheist, doesn't matter if you're someone that has been abused by all this and then goes, I just hate Christianity because of all the people around me. I want to find the real thing.
So,
this is where you thought your entire life. Every single person, they all think that they're virtuous. Even the far lefty wacko, all their far lefty wacko shit, they think that they're actually following Jesus Christ. So everybody, every single person will think, man, I'm right on the same page as Jesus Christ. We're like two buddies. I manipulate Jesus Christ, and then Jesus Christ lays waste to my enemies.
Saul, why do you persecute me?
Understand, Saul doesn't think that he's persecuting Jesus Christ. He thinks that he's on Jesus Christ's side, whatever that means. Understand how devastating that is, because you think that you're already following Jesus Christ. You think that you don't think that you're persecuting Jesus Christ.
Saul, why do you persecute me?
Who are you?
I am Jesus, whom you persecute.
No.
This is what happens when you see your own shadow closet right here. when you believed that you were your own ego your entire life, and you're gaining the distinction between your ego and your true self. See, look how everything in the world is trying to protect your ego. Even this scene in Jesus of Nazareth, they make it purposely like this inflated supernatural. It is a supernatural event that happens in your own life when we realize we're the opposite. It's devastating.
What do you want from me?
Well, there's a horse in the background. Got at least one horsey here.
What do you want?
What do you want from me? I mean, come on, man. Like, that's the problem I have that with these movies. They're so unrealistic. Like, that's why Jesus of Nazareth was made by serious motherfuckers that know this shit, like Masons that really know this shit. Like, all these Jesus movies and shit, they're made by people that don't understand. Like, look how it's not making sense. Like, you feel this when you watch a mystery school video and I say something that you thought you believed or didn't or whatever, and then you get shown the mirror for a second and you're like, oh fuck, I fell to my knees and said I'm a stupid man. Like, look at what humanity has done. Look at what all of it has done to make it so that you can't understand it, because they think that they're doing you a favor protecting your ego, purposely making it this huge supernatural event that nobody can understand. Well, it's pretty easily understandable.
What do you want from me? What do you want from me?
What do you want from me? Doesn't even make sense. The context, have you experienced this yourself? Where was the part where you did that?
What do you want from me? What do you want from me?
Go into Damascus. You'll be told what to do.
And then he's like blind after, and it didn't even have context for it. This is the extent that they're trying to hide you from you. People think that they're doing you a favor by not understanding this shit. That not understanding it and then purposely making it like this inflated event that nobody could understand. Now, that's a story of a human being getting a look in the mirror and you realize that you're the opposite of yourself. See, understand, it's a thing of where it's like, oh, wait a minute. I didn't realize I was the opposite of myself. Well, I mean, I don't want to be the opposite of myself. I think that I'm one person, but I'm a different person. So, okay, so then I don't want to be the opposite of myself. I didn't know that I was doing that. So then how do I just not be the opposite? That's what it is, guys. It's that. That's how Saul became Paul. You're being reborn in Jesus Christ. There's no 10-step method. All of it is a failure. It's a nervous breakdown. It's this huge thing of where you thought your ego was serving you your whole life. You believed that you were your ego. You didn't have the distinction between the two. Then the whole entire clown show came crashing down. The whole entire thing saw the mirror, and it turned Sal into Paul. That's the same story of you coming to the mystery school. A lot of you've walked through so many of these fires, you don't even realize that you used to be Sal. and you've actually become Paul. It takes me to tell you. It takes me to show you, because you live your own life. And we've walked through so many fires at this point, you don't even realize you need a new name, because you're not even that same person. What life event could change a person 180 degrees? Not waking up in the morning and going, I'm not going to do that thing. I made a New Year's resolution. I'm not going to do the thing that's destructive to my life. I'm not going to do it. And then you do it, because the New Year's resolution doesn't work, because God has a plan. There's a real way. There's a real way from how you turned from Saul to Paul. There's a real that should be like the most joyous thing that you've ever heard in your life. Yeah, the Master, Jesus Christ, the one thing he's not is cruel. To prolong this event would be cruelty. So the Master, Jesus Christ, the one that is most gentle, most loving for real, kind for real, the one thing he's not is cruel. That's why this happens all at once. A massive, massive, earth-shattering, nervous breakdown in I'm the opposite of who I am. And I didn't know that. And I don't want to be the opposite of who I am. So much love, everyone. If you're learning for real, please donate. Much appreciated. If you want the mystery school to keep on going, please donate. Much love.